worried that you didn't create as many chances as you would have liked today?
Yes, I'm worried about that, but I'm even more worried when you get the chances instead of giving the ball you are too selfish, and that's not our game. When you don't respect your game, you're not efficient, and that's what happened today. The consequence of this defeat can be very hard to take, and we will have to respond very quickly.
Now, one side that result would have definitely helped is Manchester City, who aren't in league action this weekend because they're taking on Sunderland in the League Cup final. And the results yesterday leave City 6 points behind Chelsea in fourth, but with a better goal difference and 2 games in hand.
Joining us to officially talk A-League, but I'm sure he won't resist the word on it for love of Sky Blues, is Fox Sports League football commentator Simon Hill. Simon, thanks for joining us. It looks like the Gunners have shot themselves in the foot a bit, and that must be music to Manchester City ears, I guess.
Well, I suppose it is, Ben, but
I should have got the snorkel and the goggles. Didn't think about it. Too late.
Taking video on the street.
How come?
I just want. It's nice. It's early morning and the sky is blue.
Oh, you want to put it on your
Yeah.
WhatsApp?
Of course. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sorry?
No, I've come all the way to here. Finished now, there, right there. The new road.
Okay. Look at the sky there, darlings.
Yeah.
It's not so blue, but here on the video it's blue.
Alright.
Sky blue.
Oh look, they're down here too.
looks like brand new again. Brand new road.
Yeah. What was the temperature today? 37 again?
I'm not sure. Why the Mitsubishi car looks like Simon, the driver?
Huh?
Look, the driver looks like Simon.
Which one?
The white
White car.
Mitsubishi.
Okay.
next year on the Gallipoli, but yeah, the focus will be. It'll be interesting because the second tour I do this year is for Mel and Posiers in late July, and those last days of July were fraught with the fear of war. You know, 100 years ago, Franz Ferdinand had been shot about 6 weeks before in June 1914. Threats had been made by the Austrians against the Serbs, and impossible conditions on the Serbs. The Serbs tried as best they could to answer and actually satisfy the Austrians, but the Austrians were, you know, part of Mr. Kane, Habsburg Empire, and they had Germany on their side. They really wanted to deal with the Serbs, so
sort of a mess, wasn't it, really?
and you see, as soon as the Serbs get into trouble, their Russian brothers, you know, their Slavic brothers, say, well, we'll help you. And once Russia's in, of course France is in, and once France is in, they drag Britain in. So
and once Britain in, Australia's never...
And we're in.
Oh.
So it just goes on, yeah.
I'm talking to Will Davey, and I'll continue to talk to him in just a moment. G'day, this is Macca.
G'day, Macca, it's Steve here, mate.
Hi, Steve.
How you going?
Yeah, good.
Yeah, I'm actually up in Queensland, mate, and we're actually on a dairy farm here about an hour west of Brisbane. And yeah, thought I'd give you a call and let you know what sort of a mess our industry's in up here.
Okay, tell me.
Yeah, aside from a lot of the man-made disasters like the pricing, mate, probably our biggest worry at the moment is the dry weather, you know.
You're dry there?
Yeah, we're about an hour west of Brisbane, and yeah, it's, we've had probably our driest summer in 10 years. Yeah, and there's a lot of other people that are probably worse off than what we are. We got a little bit of crop that we grew on some storm rain, but yeah, it's a little bit further west down around Toowoomba and Dalby. It's even worse, you know.
Yeah, I was talking to Michael this morning, who's up to Melbourne. He's got a small little dairy, and he milks sheep and he makes cheese. And I was just thinking, you know, maybe we'll the dairy industry keeps going like it is. You'll have to go into making your own cheese.
Yeah, we're actually. I mean, just some of the recent figures that have come out is that our industry is about 25%. Supply is about 25% short of demand up here, and yeah, they bought up about 100 million litres of milk from Victoria and the south sort of in the last 12 months, and yeah, I guess if they would pay us fellas a little bit more, we probably would have turned up our supply a bit more, you know. But yeah, they've got a lot of things going for it at the moment, mate. The age of our dairy farmers is sort of up around that 65 mark, and yeah, so there's not a lot of incentive. I've got 3 sons that are, yeah, making them go out and get apprenticeships, but yeah.
If they can get them?
Yeah, if they can get them, mate, and 2 of them actually have got them. So they're fortunate, and yeah, there's just a lot of incentive to keep home, and even though it's a family farm, has been for the last 60 years here, and yeah, it's just you sort of wonder where we're going, you know.
The lack of rain doesn't help, but also when you look at New Zealand dairies are doing really well, aren't they, with the whole China connection and everything?
Yeah, well, my dad always reckoned, mate, that the Victorian milk price is always 15 cents behind Queensland, but we're at the point where they've actually caught up at the moment, and they're supposedly around that 18 cents a litre in freight from us fellas, so yeah, at that rate our milk price should be up around 70 odd cents, you know.
Good day. Steve, all I can wish you is good luck. Hope you get some rain. That'd be the start of things, wouldn't it? And maybe a few things to work out a bit better, and things will be a bit better for people on the land, especially in the dairy industry.
Yeah, exactly, mate. Of course, everyone's not having a good run. It's just snowballs, you know, and our grain price is probably where we haven't seen it since the drought, and protein meals are through the roof, and yeah, you wonder where to start and where to stop feeding because of the cost, you know.
All right, good on you, Steve. Nice to talk to you.
Thanks, mate. I'll see you later, mate.
See you, mate. Bye. There's Not a happy camper. Times are tough on the land. Will Davey, I'm talking to. Good morning again, Will.
Good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, good. You're off to, when do you leave to go to Eep and places like that?
I leave in April, but my first tour starts about the 18th, I think, and I do a 10-day tour, and then I'm doing a small one for a group of mates. And it's nice to take friends, mate. It's really a joy to take a group of, half a dozen people and show them, to share what you know, and take them to places. I can take people and find a relative's grave, or I can even often point out where they might have been lost in an attack, or where their trench was, and say they were, I use trench maps on Google Earth, and I can locate trenches on the ground and say, plus or minus a couple of feet, that's where it is. Yeah.
And it'll be interesting too, because as I said, I think Australia's focus, so government and private is on 2015, but I'll be interested if you care to ring us from time to time when you're over there, to what is happening in Europe and what their focus is, because I'm sure 1914, 2014 will be really huge in Europe, and France, places like that, and Germany.
Yeah. Just historically, what we did in 1914 was, apart from, we sent an expeditionary force to Rabaul to take the radio station quite soon after the declaration of war, and that'll be celebrated. And
that was the first conflict in wasn't it, in New Guinea?
That's right. Yeah, that was in September, and then the two convoys left for Egypt by the end of the year. And but of course, Australians don't seem to realise that the Western Front that we keep talking about, we weren't there till early 1916. The British have been fighting the war for a year and a half by then. So it's a different commemoration.
Yeah.
We weren't there on the Marne and fighting to save Paris.
What's it going to be like in 2000? We'll talk about this after the news. In 2015, do you think, particularly in Gallipoli, but I suppose also people will go overseas and in great numbers, won't they?
That will, and I think Gallipoli, of course, is, park that for a minute, because that's going to be a bit of a nightmare, really. I mean, I don't know how to. I've got to go on to take tours, but it's going to be a tough one, because it's not a place set up to. It's a difficult terrain, it's long distances, it's dusty, it's hot, it's all the things that, make it difficult for commemoration. But the next 5 years are going to see a huge number of people go to Europe, I think. And
the Somme and Pozieres and all that sort of thing.
All those places, mate. Yep.
Menengate and battles and commemorations. And I noticed something. Next year, I mean, not everybody's going to go to Gallipoli. Although this bloke who organises tours in Gallipoli rang me. He said he used to organise tours in Gallipoli for the government. And he said, they're limiting it to 9,000 people or something.
Yeah.
He said to me, pause. He said, pause. That won't stop him, Maggot. He said, they'll just go there. So he's probably.
Well, they can't go. They can't go to the actual combat areas. They'll have to be somewhere down the coast or up the coast.
They won't care.
No,
they'll be at the airport.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what. That's the implication of what he said. He said they won't stop him, Maggie. He said they'll be here. I'll continue talking to Will after the news. Just hold on, Will, if you will, and we'll be back. Our number this morning is 833 1020. 02 in front of that. And 1300 700 222. It's a lovely morning where I am. I hope it is where you. I hope you get some rain too if you need it. Right now it's news time. It's 7:45.
Headlines, tensions escalate as Russia approves the deployment of troops in Ukraine. Dozens dead and many more injured in a mass stabbing in China. And in cricket, a century from David Warner puts Australia in a good position in the deciding test against South Africa. Good morning, ABC News with Rebecca Dollery. Ukraine's Prime Minister warns any military intervention by Russia would lead to war and an end to any relations with Moscow. And the country's interim president, Oleksandr Turchinov, says the country's armed forces have been put on full combat alert. The comments follow a decision by Russia's parliament to give President Vladimir Putin the power to deploy his troops in Ukraine. Europe correspondent Mary Gearan reports. The vote in Russia's upper house gave the green light to the president's proposal to send troops into Ukraine's Crimea region, where the ethnic Russian majority is rejecting the new government in Kiev. But local media has quoted Mr. Putin's spokesman as saying the president has not yet decided to use his new authority. Britain's Foreign Secretary William Hague has said the vote is a potentially grave threat to Ukraine's sovereignty. In Crimea, armed men wearing unmarked combat uniforms have taken over 2 airports and government buildings in the capital, Simferopol. Ukraine's government has already called that an occupation by Moscow's forces. Mary Gearan, ABC News. The UN has held an emergency session to discuss the crisis in Ukraine. North America correspondent Michael Vincent reports.
The UN Security Council has been holding its second emergency consultation in as many days. The Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon has called for calm. His spokesman is Martin Asurki.
I think the Secretary-General wants to speak to President Putin directly to express his concerns.
He says Ban Ki-moon wants to hear from the Russian leader his assessment of the situation. At the White House, the US President has been meeting with his national security advisors. Barack Obama is yet to speak publicly today to explain his previous comment that Moscow would pay a price for its actions. There's also been no US response to the Russian Parliament's suggestion that Vladimir Putin recall his ambassador from the United States. Michael Vincent, ABC News, Washington.
Britain's ambassador to the UN, Mark Lyle Grant, addressed the UN Security Council meeting and echoed the concerns of the US and the EU foreign policy chief about any Russian intervention in Ukraine.
This action is a grave threat to the sovereignty, independence and territorial integrity of Ukraine. We condemn any act of aggression against Ukraine. We have therefore sought an immediate and full explanation from the Russian Federation for the decision to authorize military action on sovereign Ukrainian soil and of the basis for it under international law.
Jump out, Jen.
China's state media is describing an incident.
Then can you open water?
Okay.
There's no shark in this place?
Huh?
There's no shark here?
Oh, you're about 10 every Sunday at about 11 o'clock.
Oh, really? That's good. Seagulls. Take your shoes off. Darling, take your shoes off. Wow, nice. Darling, it's nice to your foot. It's nice to your foot. But take your shoes. Sorry?
Put this in here, okay?
Yeah.
You know what's close?
Yeah. Sorry?
Still got money in the wallet. I'm going in the water, okay?
Okay.